Hello everyone, it is Jayden and welcome to The Alpha, the show where we talk about the hottest topics in pop culture and sports. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button on the video, and if you enjoy my commentary and myself truly as always, be sure to tap that subscribe button and to hit that notification bell to get notified when all my videos go live. I love you guys so much. Peace, love, and positivity always, y'all. See ya. And we're going to talk about the Raiders. And then that's going to lead into our big topic of today. Geno Smith was bad. It was the funniest thing. I was sitting doing homework while I was watching this game, and my dad was like, he made this comment right before the game. They just kicked the ball off. Geno Smith and the guys were going on the field, and my dad had made a comment talking about some, Jay, this is going to be, West Virginia, West Virginia Geno is going to be here tonight. I was like, all right. First play, Geno Smith throws a pick. And I was like, I hope this is not a sign of things to come. He turned into New York Jets Geno Monday night against the Chargers. He wrote back. He was bad. Granted, let's give him a little bit of grace. The Los Angeles Chargers, led by Jim Harbaugh, arguably has a top 3 defense in the NFL. Because I saw the window that Geno Smith was trying to throw the ball into when he threw that pick. And that safety just jumped on that ball so quick. I was very shocked and astonished to see how quick he got at that football. So I really cannot blame Geno Smith for throwing that ball in that situation. But Geno Smith was just bad. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Didn't read the field well at all. Everything looked like everything was too fast for him. Couldn't process things fast enough, which led to him throwing interceptions. Had a lot of boneheaded throws. Like the second interception that he threw, rolling out, he just threw a Hail Mary 50 yards down the sideline. Jacoby Myers or whoever that was double covered. And Tony Jefferson ends up picking the ball off at the 1 yard line. It's Geno Smith. Granted, I know that defense is tough, but there was a lot of boneheaded just interceptions and throws that Geno Smith was making all night. So he was bad. And just to talk about the Chargers in general, the Raiders in general, I think they are missing a lot of firepower at the wide receiver position. They got this guy, Tucker. He's okay. Jacoby Myers, I've never been a huge fan of Jacoby Myers, especially going on before the season. There was this news about him trying to make these contract negotiations. He requested a trade. Nothing ever came of that. But, he's not a player that he don't knock my socks off at the wide receiver position. He would be like a good wide receiver 3 for anybody. But I don't think Jacoby Myers is just this world breaker. They got this young guy that they drafted in like the 3rd, 5th round, something like that. They think that he's going to be pretty good. But they're just lacking wide receiver talent. Deontay Thornton is his name, that 5th round pick. Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers. They're okay at the receiver position. Now, Brock Bowers, they have an absolute stud at the tight end position. But if the Raiders in the future just want to be able to compete in this division, they're going to have to get some wide receiver help for Geno Smith. You're going to have to. You got your running back. You got Ashton Jeanty. Granted, Ashton Jeanty, he's got some things that he needs to clean up on, especially with pass protection. But the Raiders, I see why a lot of people kind of fell in love with the Raiders this year. They finally got the quarterback right. They have a defense that is actually pretty good. And they are able to compete. You got Max Crosby. I like the way the defensive backs were playing for the most part, which is something that the Raiders, has not been their strong suit for the longest time, is the secondary position. But they were flying around the ball. They were physical. You could tell that Pete Carroll he's put his fingerprints on that organization so far. And the Raiders are being pretty competent to start off. It's just offensively, if they want to be successful, Geno Smith cannot go 24 for 43. You just cannot do it. You can't throw the ball 24 times and only have 180 yards. You can't throw 3 interceptions. You can't turn the ball over. Ashton Jeanty, he was able to average almost 4 yards carrying. That's doable. but they just got to get more explosive on offense. I think their defense is actually serviceable. They held the Los Angeles Chargers to 20 points. With that offense and the way the Chargers has been looking and the potential that they can bring, that's pretty good. I think the defense is going to be good. They just got to get some offense for years in coming up in next season. I say next season because I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I didn't want to buy into the Raiders after that performance against the New England Patriots because it was the New England Patriots. And the Chargers are a good team. Now, if we look at the Raiders' schedule, they play at Washington. I don't know if Jayden Daniels is going to play or not. If Jayden Daniels does play, I don't see them winning that game. I think they can beat Chicago. Indianapolis will be a close one. They'll beat Tennessee. They won't beat Kansas City. I mean, it's not the worst schedule of all time now. They got, just their in-division games is an absolute gauntlet itself. They've already dropped a game. So that is just something that you got to account for. Then they got to play the Texans. They got to play Dallas. They got to play Indianapolis. I mean, their schedule is it's not the worst. It's a doable schedule, but in a division with all those great teams, I don't know. I don't have them making the playoffs this year, but they have a bright future. They have the quarterback, and I think if they can draft a wide receiver in the upcoming draft, shore up the O-line a little bit, they could be pretty good for years to come. Now let's move on to the LA Chargers. That defense of theirs is absolutely phenomenal. They're just great. They're great. It is astonishing to me. They fly around. They're physical. It is crazy to me how under, I forgot the guy's name, but their old head coach before Jim Harbaugh got there. And I can't think of the guy's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. It is crazy to me how the defense, and this was a defensive-minded head coach. And now that I'm thinking about it, let me see. Come on, what's his name? Brandon Staley, yes. Under Brandon Staley, a defensive-minded head coach, they were one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They were bad. And on top of that, they were situationally so bad. And watching the way this defense has been playing under Jim Harbaugh, last year they were one of the best defenses. And this year, you can argue they are the best defense in the NFL, alongside like the Green Bay Packers or somebody. It is just mind-blowing how coaching can make this much of a difference on a football team. Jim Harbaugh, he's one of my favorite coaches ever. I just love Jim Harbaugh. He's old school. He's a player's coach. There's just so much to like about Jim Harbaugh. And he has literally turned around the Chargers. He's under Brandon Staley. Justin Herbert was this guy, throw the ball 50 times a game, 45 times a game, try and give me a win. Now he's turned Justin Herbert into this guy, just manage the game. You ain't got to throw the ball 40 times. You can throw it 27 times, be super efficient. We can come up with a win. We play good defense. Don't turn the ball over. And we win games. Justin Herbert was 19 for 27, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I don't know why, but a lot of people have Justin Herbert in the MVP conversation so far. They think he's been the best quarterback so far in the NFL. Another angle is this as well. Quinton Johnson, a guy who was drafted in the 2023 draft class. They thought he was going to be a bust. He couldn't catch the football. He had stones for hands and bricks for hands. But he has had a great start to the season so far. Even last year, he wasn't the best. Jim Harbaugh voiced his love for Johnson, saying we believe in him, this and that. And he has gone out this year and he's playing phenomenal. And I don't want to bring fantasy in anything, but in fantasy football, I think he's ranked the top 10 wide receiver so far. He's had massive production for this offense. They have a complimentary wide receiver room. You have a guy in in Johnson, who can pretty much stretch the field for you. Big target. He's like 6'6", 6'7". Then you have your slot guy in Ladd McConkey, who is an absolute stud. Great route running. He's a route technician. He can get up open whenever he wants to. And then you have a guy like Keenan Allen, who is a red zone target. The guy has pretty much been fresh off the couch. He was fresh off the couch going into training camp. I don't even think he was signed the first week of training camp. And he literally got so much production for this offense through 2 weeks in the NFL season. It is absolutely astonishing the way the culture and everything that is set within the Chargers organization. It just blows my mind. The only bad thing about the Chargers right now, and it's something that I would not expect to see with a Jim Harbaugh-led program, they got to be able to run the ball better. Granted, the Raiders have a pretty good defensive line, but Najee Harris, eight carries for 28 yards, 3.5 yards per carry. That's got to be better. Your draft pick that you drafted in the first round, 8 carries, 24 yards. Marion Hampton, he has a lot of promise. He's going to be pretty good. He only had 8 carries for 24 yards. Got to be better. There's no reason why you have 2 first-round picks at that position. Najee Harris is no slouch. He was not able to flourish in Pittsburgh because they did not have a good offensive line. Now he goes over to the Chargers. He doesn't have to be your number 1 back anymore. You just drafted this workhorse in Marion Hampton, considered the best running back in the draft, even with Ashton Jeanty being in that same draft class. And they just have not been able to successfully run the football. Now, in short yardage situations, they've been able to run the ball, but it's just they're not running the ball as efficiently that I think they should. And they're still been able to claw out some wins with that. But it's something I want to see them be able to work on, because when it comes playoff time, we don't want to have Justin Herbert in a situation where he threw more picks in that playoff game than he did all season, because that's what happened last year in the playoffs. And I want to see Justin Herbert's play from these past 2 regular seasons and even this regular season. I want to see that translate into the playoffs. That's the thing with Justin Herbert. We know he's talented. We know he's good enough. If you look at his stats alongside Peyton Manning in this same time frame, he has the same and somewhat better stats than the Hall of Fame great Peyton Manning. This is how good Justin Herbert is. But Justin Herbert has to go show. He has to put substance in his play. He's got to go translate this to the postseason. And I think Jim Harbaugh is the right coach for that. I don't think Brandon Staley was, because even Brandon Staley choked that first playoff game for Justin Herbert. There's no reason that the Chargers should have choked that game. If they would have just ran the ball instead of wanting to get pass happy, they would have won the game. But that didn't seem to be the case. So if the Chargers want to be successful, the defense is phenomenal. They're great. And I think that will translate into going into the postseason. I think they're going to play just as well. But got to be able to run the ball better. Passing attack, great. Got to run the ball better. And Justin Herbert's got to be able to translate his play. So that's the Chargers. I think the Chargers are good. 2-0. I have them winning that division. And I had them winning that division. I know I didn't say it on my podcast, on the show, but I had the Chargers winning this division. And my prediction is ending up being true as we speak. So that is pretty much just recapping Monday night's action in the NFL. That's just my 2 cents on it. I want to know all your comments down below. What do you think of the Raiders? What do you think of the Chargers? Do you think, everybody is overhyping the Chargers? Do you think they are as advertised? I want to know all of your comments down below.